the scent of potpourri, films we commit to memory. Crossing the felt ropes, watching from home on my TV, looking at all my eyes can see. They tell me I view obsessively.
Hello and welcome to The Obsessive Viewer, a weekly podcast reviewing 2 new or recent release titles every episode with an occasional free-for-all segment at the end that we call Potpourri. I'm your host, Matt Hurt, and you can find more of my work, including my written reviews, full episode show notes, and the complete backlog of our episodes and spinoff podcasts at obsessiveviewer.com. You can also follow me on Letterboxd and other social media platforms at the username of Obsessive Viewer. And if you'd like to support us and get access to hundreds of exclusive episodes, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/obsessiveviewer. Over on Patreon, I am going full force in my Gotham Project Batman thing. So I've released 2 episodes. Those go up usually, hopefully, for the very foreseeable future, every Saturday morning. I have 1 episode out that's about my thoughts on Batman as a whole and the Golden Age Volume 1 collection of comics that are the first ever comics that Batman appeared in. And then episode 2 came out just this week. It is for Batman Year 1 and the Nothing But Nightwing digital DC Universe Infinite exclusive DC Go, there we go, comic. And I also have reviews of It, Welcome to Derry every episode, plus my Long Walk-Along project is done. So I read or listened to The Long Walk while walking on trails around Indianapolis and recorded my thoughts. So all of that is just the recent stuff. We have hundreds and hundreds of stuff over there. Once again, you can sign up over at patreon.com/obsessiveviewer. And if you want to support me without messing around with Patreon or anything, you can always buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/obsessiveviewer. And so today on the show, we're doing our 13th annual year in review episode. This is going to be a massive episode, as it always is, and we are currently live streaming on Patreon. So if anyone's in the chat, say hi, but I don't think anyone is because it's a Sunday morning. So joining me for this episode, of course, are my friends and Obsessive Viewer co-hosts who can be followed on Letterboxd at the usernames of Obsessive Tiny and I am Mike White, respectively. It's Tiny and Mike. Welcome back to the show, gentlemen. How's it going?
Going great, man.
Hey, we're back.
Woo!
We're back. It's good.
Yes.
Reunited.
Oh yes. We are. Here's the thing. We are bearing down for this recording. I don't have any IOUs. I'm trying to make football references because IU and the Bears, I guess.
Yeah, bear down.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, how's it going, Mike? I want to give you the opportunity to promote your project that you are doing on Substack. So I'm gonna organically ask you, how's it going over on Substack? What's that all about, Mike?
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah. So long story, semi-short, I was in a band for a very long time in my high school and college years, about 10 years. And a couple years ago, I wrote a memoir about my experience. It's kind of a coming-of-age story about, moving from the city to rural Indiana and then starting a punk rock band and doing what we did. And I just kind of sat on it for a couple years. I thought about doing the publishing, then I thought about self-publishing, and then I just decided I'm just going to put this thing out on Substack for free in chapters. And I'm also turning 40 in 2026, so
Yes.
I thought it would be fun to review movies and to write essays about my top 40 favorite albums of my life. So I'm going to be posting on Tuesdays is chapters of my memoir, and then Fridays will be an essay about an album that I love or one of my top 40 movies of all time. So it's going well.
Beautiful.
Good little bump in the first week, and I'm just excited to keep it growing.
Nice. That's awesome. I'm very excited for you to be doing that. I know that behind the scenes and everything, like you had talked to me about maybe doing like a podcast and everything. And I think I still think that's a good idea, but also I think the Substack is a really good like idea for for that particular thing.
Thank you. Yeah,
yeah.
it kind of fits. I always, I just love writing assignments and writing projects, and I'm a writing teacher, and so this kind of gives me a chance to flex my muscle as well, and do my favorite thing, which is share about myself.
Yes, as the same with all of us. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Very
Substack is a
nice.
good platform too.
Yeah, I like it. It's pretty easy. I haven't enabled paid subscription yet. That's not really kind of my goal at this point. I want to see if it grows, and then maybe I'll look into that. But it's just free. You can just read what I'm writing for free.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. And Tiny, any projects you have going on?
Man, all my projects are like home stuff. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing fun really. So gonna put some built-ins in the living room here over the winter.
Nice.
That's our big project. So
Mm-hmm.
going to IKEA next weekend.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very domesticated.
Maybe Bed Bath Beyond. I don't know. I don't know if we'll have enough time.
Nice. Nice. That's great. That's awesome. Yeah. I usually do what's playing this week in indie, but obviously this is a big episode, so I'm not going to do that. So just check out the listings for Alamo Drafthouse, Can, Living Room Theaters, Keystone Art, Flix Brew House, all the places here. So let's get into this episode, you guys. I feel like we just got into a rhythm of just general chatting, and I forgot that we were recording an episode. So on the itinerary for this episode, we've got how was our year overall. So there is a cleaner segue that I could have made instead of doing what I just did, but that's fine. So we're gonna go around the horn. How was your guys' years in the year 2025? Mike, if you want to, kind of take the reins here.
Sure. Yeah, the easiest thing to do is compare it to 2024, which was kind of a rough year for me. Had some sleep issues, some mental stuff, yada yada yada, and I have gotten a hold a lot of that stuff, or gotten that stuff under control. Medicine is a good thing, and I'm sleeping great, and other than that, my note here that I have for this section of the podcast is all dad all the time.
Nice.
I just like my kids are 9 and 7, and they're just at. I mean, I love every era of my kids, but they're at like they're just cool kids, and we just do stuff together. Like when they're really young, it's about like watching them play the stuff that they play. But now we do things together. Both my kids play baseball. My older son does travel baseball, which I coach. We play Nintendo Switch together. We wrestle. We just it's just all dad stuff all the time. My evenings, my weeks are filled with doing kid stuff, and I love it. It's just we're in the prime right now. It's cool.
Nice.
That's awesome, man.
That's very awesome.
Yeah.
And Tiny, we'll get to you in a second. But
You're good.
I just want to say, like, this is gonna sound weird. I don't know. As a single income, no kids. As someone who doesn't have kids or anything, I like, obviously this is the 13th year we're doing this episode and everything, and like just like as an observer of seeing like you guys both like becoming like parents and everything has just been really, really nice and really great because
Cool,
you guys are
man.
both great
Thank you.
at it. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
it's fun.
Yeah. And Mike, how are the cats?
Oh my gosh, I love the cats so much. They're my little sweeties.
Aw.
I really never thought I was a cat person. I think I said this last year, and then we got the cats, and I just fell in love. I love them so much. Zelda's a little sweetheart, but she kind of does her own thing. But speaking of Obsessive Viewer, while I'm watching my movies at home, little Violet comes and just lays on my chest and gets her scratches, and I just love them.
Nice. Oh, that's beautiful. That's awesome. So yeah, like I said, I have loved seeing you guys both become parents independent of each other, obviously.
Yeah.
And Mike, I love seeing you become a cat parent. And Tiny,
Me too.
I mean, this could
You're
be
next.
the year.
You're next.
You could be a cat father.
I think back to 5 or 6 years ago when I helped you move, Matt, and I had the first asthma attack I've had in like 20 years.
Yes.
So I would say a cat is not in my future because I am substantially allergic to them.
Yeah, but just devil's advocate, do we know that it was related to pizza and all of the hair and dander and everything that was drummed up from moving me? Or were you having like a panic attack because I was no longer going to be on the west side of Indianapolis?
Ah, you're a truther.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it was definitely the cats.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair. But yeah, Tiny, how was your 2025? Any
Well, all
big
my
purchases?
Man, yeah. Everything again, kind of like I said before, everything has nothing to do with movies. That was big in 2025 for me. Yeah, we moved. We got a new house. We only moved like 6 blocks, but it feels like a totally different neighborhood. Giant yard, bigger house. So super excited with that. And then, volunteer stuff was great this year. We had huge volunteer events with my Speedway Home Helpers program. We're getting ready to make some huge changes with that for 2026 that I'm really looking forward to. Work was awesome, but super busy. I had a new boss who started, and he came in, and like after a month, he called me up and he was like, "Man, I'm sorry." I was like, "What?" He was like, "Dude, we beat the shit out of you, man. I'm sorry." Like I had like at one point I had 6 different jobs pulling me to they were like, "When's Anthony coming back? When's Anthony coming back? When's Anthony coming back?" And so they've been trying to get me some help. But I did, I think 2024, I did just over $2 million worth of work. And
Jeez.
This year I almost hit 4 million. So
wow. Holy shit.
It was a big year for work, but it was awesome.
That's incredible, man.
Thanks. Yeah, I learned a ton of stuff and looking forward to next year. My job is just fun. It's stressful, but it's really fun. So that's all been good. And then, we'll get into the movie stuff. That's the least interesting part for me, unfortunately.
Oh, I'm looking forward to you blowing us both out of the water with your stats and everything, Tiny.
I'm not sure I'm even in the water.
Well, we have a nice little like kiddie pool for you. So I don't mean to be so dismissive or anything.
Dude, you have to because it's so bad.
But you lived life, and that's what's important.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind for when I give my stats later. But anyway, so my 2025, it was pretty good. It was fine. I had nothing substantial really happened or anything. It was my first complete like calendar year at the job that I got in 2024. That's going well. There's been some changes there, but it's solid. It's good. I like my team. I like the work that I have to do. I like that it's not anything that like goes home with me unless I'm working from home. So it's good. It's smooth. But I did also in 2025 start volunteer work with COIN, the Coalition for Our Immigrant Neighbors. I've been working on getting some video content posted for them and creating video content to raise awareness and to basically give content or give information about like rights that immigrants have, and also just testimonials of how the immigrant community has affected people's lives in positive ways and everything. I'm very proud of that. I also helped volunteer at one of their events that was a walk in a refugee's shoes, where they had they had simulations of like what a refugee goes through while in like a refugee camp and being displaced from their home and everything. That was really, even though it rained and it had to end early, it was still really a really good time and everything. So I'm very proud to be helping out in my small way with COIN. It's a great organization, so I recommend checking it out. Coalition for Our Immigrant Neighbors.org. And that's basically all I've got for what I was up to this year. Like, good stuff all around. Still plugging away at the podcast and Patreon, of course. So Good stuff.
That's awesome, man. I'm really proud of you for taking that on. That's cool.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I'm glad that we all had good 2025s. The next thing, do we want to talk about some movie watching goals, plans that we had in 2025 and circle back on it? Because I know last year, I don't know if you guys have any of these because I didn't check or listen to the last year's episode or anything, but I had some movie watching goals and plans that I had for the year. So I'm just going to run through the two of them. Basically, I started the year with a list of 100 sci-fi movies that I wanted to watch throughout 2025. The whole idea of that was just a casual, okay, if I'm bored and don't know what I want to watch, I'm going to grab one of these movies and just watch it. And out of those 100 movies on that list, I watched 3. And basically abandoned that entire project. I watched Metropolis. That was my first movie of the year. Spoiler for later in the episode. And I also watched Gattaca and The Day the Earth Stood Still remake. So that's something. But I also did have a goal of doing more film festival coverage. I didn't do as much as I would have liked to have done, but I did was able to release two Heartland Film Festival episodes where I had interviews with filmmakers. That was a blast, including my friend and IFJ colleague, Richard Probst. He was the subject of a documentary that is amazing. And so I got to interview him and the filmmaker. That was a blast. And then I also got to interview the filmmaking team behind A Simple Machine, which was a great movie and a very heart-wrenching and beautiful documentary called Disposable Humanity. I got to interview the filmmakers on that, and that was a blast. I was really proud of that. And then another goal I had was more immediate reactions on Patreon, and I did 21 of those, so not bad. So yeah. Anyway,
great.
Yeah, thank you. What, if any, goals or milestones of things for movie watching did you guys have last year?
So
yeah,
go ahead, Mike.
Okay, you go ahead. Well, I was just gonna say, my numbers dipped last year, so I was kind of just hoping to beat last year's numbers. I'll just say that I didn't.
Okay.
But life gets in the way, and just to watch more. I guess I started out thinking, I want to just keep watching more of the movies that I love, just to kind of remind myself how I love them and why I love them. And so I did do that a little bit this year. And my goal, as always, is to watch 31 in Shocktober.
Nice.
And we'll talk about that in accomplishments and things I'm proud of.
Of course. Nice. Tiny, any goals or anything that you shot for, or?
Yeah, I think the only goal I had from last year was I wanted to introduce my daughter to movies. Like, that was a fun thing I was looking forward to. And there was definitely some of that, a couple of, not really stories, but funny things. I was trying to watch Weapons. And it was just me and Lola. I was watching her by myself that night. And then me and Paige were both watching Band of Brothers. And so she's entered the age where she's starting to pay attention to the screen more. When she was young, we could just watch whatever. I mean, you could have porn playing and she would have no clue. But she's getting to the point where we were watching that stuff and her eyes go to the screen and she's actually sitting there watching it. And I'm like, okay, we got to turn this off now. So that was funny. But she's also, she loves music.
Nice.
And anytime we're watching stuff, we've been rewatching Home Improvement, which I think is on Netflix, maybe. Yeah. Which has a great theme song and a great intro. And anytime it comes on, she drops what she's doing and she comes over and she looks at the screen and starts dancing.
That's adorable.
Yeah, she loves music, and so we decided to play Frozen. And she was into it. she was fully into it. Like anytime there was no music, she was just playing with her toys. But then, the music would come on and she would kind of start looking at it, and then she'd start moving and start dancing and stuff. So it was pretty cute. So I think we're going to put her in a dance class here pretty soon, and we're gonna maybe see if she wants to like do music. Her mom was my wife Paige was she played the flute really well. She was really into band. So we'll see if she wants to get into music.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. So that was a goal from 2024, and it was we introduced her to some stuff. She's still she's 20 months old, so pretty young still.
Nice. Which was her favorite of the Saw franchise you showed her?
Oh my gosh, she'd probably be into it too, knowing her. Yeah.
I, like, not being a parent, I don't know if this is good advice or this is something that I'm just going to give my unsolicited advice.
Get ready for bad advice here.
Yes. So what I would say is that you can watch Band of Brothers, just like put like a little like phone or even just like a little paper cutout of Miss Rachel and just put it in the corner of the TV.
Oh yeah. Good call.
Yeah.
That won't scar her for life.
No, well, once you explain the historical inaccuracy of that, I think she'll be fine.
Oh man.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, accomplishments / things that we're proud of. I don't mean to go like robotic through this and everything, but such is the thing with year in review episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So accomplishments and things we're proud of. Mike, do you want to get us kicked off with yours?
Yeah, so I think a common refrain with Tiny and me compared to you, Matt, is we just didn't watch as many as you, and we just didn't watch as many as in years past. But I would say my biggest one is, despite my low numbers overall, I still hit 31 movies in Shocktober. Like,
nice.
Really, my numbers being what they are for the end of the year, if we had done this in July for the first half of the year, I'd be in like panic mode with some of these numbers. It's like, what are you doing? Spring and summer is baseball, and then travel baseball in the summer. So I really watched very few, and then I was kind of able to kind of move my schedule around a little bit at night to start watching some more movies. So most of my movies were watched in the second half of the year. I would say a good 70% of them. And then in Shocktober I hit 31. Felt good about that.
Nice, very nice. Tiny, any accomplishments or anything?
Not really. I may have the longest stretch I've ever gone without watching a movie this year.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Yeah, from the last week in August all the way through the first week of November, I have 0 movies watched.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Which is not something to be proud of.
Right.
But that's when we were getting our old house ready to sell, buying our new one, and moving. Mm-hmm. Which, good God, moving is hard, but like obviously this is the first time that we've ever sold a house and bought a new one and moved, and we have a kid now. Like when we moved into our house, I mean, it seemed like nothing compared. We even hired movers, but man, it was so hard getting all that stuff done.
It is, man. I feel like I remember reading an article where like the top 5 most traumatic things in your life, like moving is one of them, and not even in like a. Like if it's a move for a bad reason or a sad reason or something like that, it's just so hard. You're literally uprooting your family and going to a different place. It's so hard. I hate moving.
Yeah. Even if it's obviously a good thing, like getting a bigger house or what have you, and bigger space and everything, like that's still stress. Like it's still stress of new stress, like good stress.
Yep.
Like,
right.
Yeah.
So that was essentially almost 3 months that I didn't watch a movie, which is bananas. And I'll get into it later, but there's a bunch of examples where we turned on a movie, I'd watch a little bit of it, and then get distracted and have to go do something else. So like there's probably, I'd say, 20 or 30 like movies where I watched a quarter of it or a third of it, maybe close to half, and I didn't log it because, it's like I barely watched it. So there was a lot of that too. So, but we'll get into that later. Yeah.
Wow. I
Now tell us yours, Matt.
Oh yeah. Well, not this was not a planned one or anything. I just wanted to point out that it's funny, Tiny, you said that about, your longest stretch of not seeing a movie. I am currently in the midst of my longest streak on record of seeing a movie like weekly in terms of like weekly watches. I have watched a movie every week for the last 132 weeks.
Dang.
Wow.
Apparently.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Man.
So yeah. That's something. But in terms of my accomplishments that I'm proud of and everything, I'm going to talk about this on Patreon when I do my my stats and everything for like podcasting and writing stats. I was part of, or I published and was party to a total of 106 pieces of content on the internet last year. So that includes Patreon recordings, podcast recordings, one written piece, which I'm kind of, I want to get back into writing this year if I can. And also guest appearances on podcasts and everything. Just 106 pieces of content was all around the internet from me. So I'm proud of that. I think it's a good number, and I'm already starting off strong with 2026. So
it's awesome.
We'll see what
Good
happens.
job, man.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
thank
huge,
you. Thank you.
Very cool.
That's huge.
Very cool.
Yeah. It's funny. We like in the IFJA that I'm a part of, we do have like a quota that just like this idea, like, to keep in good standing, you need to have 24 pieces of writing or 24 pieces of film commentary a year. And so like in like by the end of the year, I was like, oh, did I make it? Am I okay? Yeah, I mean, I'd say that's pretty good.
That's twice a week, man. That's 2 pieces of content a week. That's a lot.
Yep. Very cool.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane, but I love it. I love doing it and everything. It's great. Oh, and there was something else, but I can't remember what it was. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I'm very proud of that. I love doing it. So
does that Matt? Does that include your TikTok videos?
No. So. Okay. That actually doesn't. Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Thank you. So, yeah, that it doesn't include like the TikTok or Reels or YouTube or anything like that. Just strictly like podcast episodes and the like. But that's the other thing I was kind of proud of is hobbling together like a more video, source of things. So like right now we're live streaming on Patreon, and I'm going to have the video version of this episode up at some point too on YouTube. And like, that's a big barrier to cross after, over a decade of us doing just audio stuff. It's been pretty smooth. I would like to enhance that a bit in 2026 in terms of the technology and everything, but I'm pretty proud of it. It's been a bumpy at times, but pretty fulfilling transition, and it allows me to put more video clips online, which is what the internet wants, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, that's awesome.
Good stuff.
I wanted to compliment your TikTok videos when you were.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, when you were at Heartland and you were interviewing, you had those interviews and stuff.
Oh yeah,
I watched a lot of that stuff.
Oh, nice.
Because this sounds ridiculous, but that's a good format for me. I can just watch a quick minute long video, and I get some cool information that you got from the filmmakers and stuff. So the Disposable Humanity one was really good. I think I watched all those reels or short videos that you posted on TikTok. That was great. So I think you should keep doing that, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, and I was really proud of the Heartland coverage I did, just because that stemmed. I think I said this in the episode, but that stemmed from 2024 when I went to Heartland. Like it was such a bizarre moment for me, just because like it was October. My mom had passed away in September, And I was at Heartland, and I was like, I was, still a little raw, but I was like kind of just focusing on Heartland. And I was like, I really love this environment. I really love doing this, like going to this. I need to upgrade like some stuff to make a more like on the fly or more like a more adaptable mobile setup and everything. So like I accumulated some technology and like some stuff like an iPad and some wireless mics, and because I'm me, it also made me eager to try other wireless mics and stuff. So I have a whole bunch of stuff. So I have like the infrastructure to do mobile recordings like that and make it sound good. So so thank you. I'm excited to try more of that in this new year.
So cool.
Nice.
It's awesome.
Thank you. So Tiny, I know that you said that you went a few months without watching any movies. This next section is any notable TV shows we watched throughout 2026. I know I prompted Tiny for that, but Mike is the first one up on the rotation.
Yep.
Tiny, do you want to do it, and then we go to Mike and then me?
I think we should just stick with the pattern. Let's do Mike first, and then I'll
Okay.
go. Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, my current favorite TV show right now is The Pit.
Yes.
I am obsessed with The Pit. I mean, the first season, there was no lull, no drop in quality, just whatever, how many ever episodes that was, like 15 episodes?
I think so, yeah.
Just banger after banger. And we only made it halfway through episode 1, season 2, because my wife, I love her so much. She works so hard, but she fell asleep halfway through the episode. Anyway, it's our show that we watch together, and I just know Wiley is incredible, but the whole cast is so good. Just such an amazing, amazing show. And I read an article about it the other day about how there's really nothing like it on TV anymore, where you get a bunch of episodes, like more than 10, more than 12 episodes, that also come out weekly and are also like the new prestige TV type. Like it's in a way appointment television. Comes out on Thursday, and we get them until April, and that's awesome. I'm just obsessed with The Pit. I would say my second favorite show is Shrinking on Apple Plus, with Harrison Ford and Jason Segel, and it's just so feel good. You just feel so good every single episode. I finished the first season of Pluribus over Christmas break.
Nice.
We really enjoyed that quite a bit. It's kind of another swing, another crack at the not post-apocalypse, but that sort
dystopian?
That's dystopian, near future sci-fi kind of thing.
Nice.
And then just like everybody else, I loved Severance. Because
I still need to finish season 2. God damn it!
Wow.
Oh wow, you haven't even finished
I
season
know,
2.
yeah.
Huh?
And I have Patreon recordings and stuff. I'm going to circle back on that. I promised.
I remember reading that there was some conflict between season 1 and season 2 about the direction of season 2. And being a little nervous about how it would be, but I thought it was just as good as season 1. I can't wait to see it come back. So yeah, kind of 4 pretty popular buzzy shows that people are talking about. Maybe not Pluribus so much, but those 4. A lot more TV this year than usual.
Nice. That's awesome. And it sounds like you prioritize some really good ones too.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'll talk about my list here in a second. But yeah, no, that's great. Tiny, how about you? Aside from Home Improvement.
Yeah. I've even found this year that my mental bandwidth for even TV shrunk this year. So like, I didn't even watch as much TV because, like, again, just the mental side of it. Like, I don't even want to watch an hour-long show, let alone a 2-hour movie. So like, I would just goof off on my phone a lot or watch YouTube or something, But what I have on my list is The Pit, just like Matt or Mike was talking about.
Nice.
Yeah, baby.
It is astounding. I had a physical reaction to that show. Like I hate going to the hospital, and that show was like being at the hospital. I mean, no one really likes going to the hospital, but you know what I mean. It just it generated anxiety in me. Like I actually found that I couldn't watch it on my lunch break at work because it like made me too nervous. Like it just like generated anxiety, and I could not do that. I had to like wait till I was home and I was calm, and because it was just such effective filmmaking, just so well done. I echo everything Mike said. Such good characters. I haven't started the second season yet. I might do the kind of the cheap thing where I wait till they all come out and then watch them.
Sure.
But yeah, that's a great one. I watched Severance as well. I thought I feel I feel like it's one of the shows where I feel like the mystery is more interesting than the answers to that mystery. And we got a little bit of answers this season, and it's not that I didn't like it. It's fantastic still. But I kind of appreciated the deeper mystery of season 1 a little bit more. But still it is a remarkably good show and just peak hard sci-fi. I love it. So yeah, that's another great one.
Nice. And we like I said before, we are recording early on a Sunday morning, and this is a distraction and everything, but Pizza just came out from her little bed space that she occupies most of the time, and I do this thing that's so dumb, and I never really do it out loud, but I'll do it now for the recording. Well, look who decided to get up. Anyway,
I thought you were gonna sleep all day.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Anyway, so dumb, but yeah, that is great. I'm so glad that you guys are watching those, like Mike said, the buzzy, prestige TV stuff. Yeah. Notable TV shows I watched. So The Pit, I mean, echo everything you guys said. It is incredible. So I watched the first season in, I think, like June or July. And then it just reignited my interest in watching ER. So I went back and I got 8 seasons into ER, and then haven't pressed on there, but maybe I'll circle back to it. But I mean, my God, The Pit is just so good. And yeah, Noah Wyle is just astounding. He's phenomenal in that. And I love it so much. I'm excited to start season 2. And then I also just recently finished We Own This City, which is a miniseries on HBO Max where it's from the creators of The Wire. It is an adaptation of the true crime book We Own the City by Justin Fenton. It is about a group of corrupt police in Baltimore that were taken down basically in, I think, 2017 or 2016. Really good spiritual successor to The Wire. It has a lot of similarities to The Wire, a lot of similar actors and everything. It was really good. The format was a little strange in terms of kind of doing like a nonlinear format, but I really liked it. John Bernthal does an amazing job in that show. It was to the point where I was getting into so many like Baltimore things, like The Wire, Homicide, Life on the Streets, reading We Own the City, and reading Homicide by David Simon, that like when I got to We Own the City, and the opening monologue is John Bernthal just doing this whole like speech to a group of police. I was like picking up on like, oh, that is such a great like subtle Baltimore accent. Like, oh, that is so Baltimore. And I'm like,
you and your Baltimore accents, man.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, oh yeah. I've never been never been to Baltimore, but my God, I can spot it from a mile away. But yeah, so that was good. Not as good as The Wire, obviously, but a good spiritual kind of sequel to it in a sense. And a couple of notable rewatches. I rewatched both The Shield and The Wire, 2 cop shows that are very different from each other, but hold very significant places in my heart. The Shield is incredible. It is an incredible show. I posted on social media about it, that it came out at a time when it was like right on the cusp of the big boom of anti-hero storytelling. Like I had likened it to, it was kind of right before Breaking Bad, and like Breaking Bad took that kind of anti-hero subgenre and like perfected it. Like that is by my count one of the most perfect ways to do that. But The Shield deserves its flowers for doing it the way that it did prior to that. And the comparison I made was that the biggest episode of Breaking Bad, Ozymandias, it is one of the greatest episodes of television I've ever seen
in history.
ever. And it's because of numerous reasons, but it's because it's when that house of cards falls down. And it is where we're ramped up into the final few episodes of the series, and that's where everything, like all of the bills come due, essentially. And I love that. I think that it's still great, but I would point people to The Shield and say that their equivalent episode, the pseudo Ozymandias episode of The Shield, comes with almost half of the final season to still go through. So we live in that anxiety and fallout for almost half of a season. And the adrenaline of that, the tragedy of that as well, is so palpable and amazing. So while no episode of The Shield can really match any episode of Breaking Bad, I still have like so much respect for what The Shield did for its with its storytelling. But anyway, and The Wire is The Wire. It's amazing. I'm a snob, and I'll say it's one of the greatest pieces of fiction, like television fiction, I've seen, and it's great.
Never heard of it.
Holds up. Yeah. If you go on any on the internet and say that, everyone will say that, they'll be snobs about it.
I know.
Yeah. But yeah, so both great. And I'm looking forward to 2026 in television as well. So yeah.
Are we ready to anoint the Pit, the Obsessive Viewer 2025 show of the year? Kind of like we do with...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would say
it's gotta be, right, Tiny?
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I would campaign for Severance, but I didn't finish the season, so...
Right, that's kind of what I was thinking.
So I
think Severance has a strong case to be made, but I think the fact that we all devoured the Pit says what it says.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. So yeah, The Pit, the TV show of the year from Obsessive Viewer. I love it. So should we dive into our viewing stats for 2025, guys?
Let's do it, baby.
Yep.
Nice. Okay, we are going to go into our stats for the movie year, watching year, words. So we're going to do a round robin thing like we've been doing, but we're going to start off with Mike and then go to Tiny and then go to me. And we're going to talk about our overall viewing stats for 2025. So Mike, let's get started. How was your 2025 in viewing stats?
Okay, so my stats, I'll start with total viewings, which is down from last year. 129 total viewings. I still think is more than the average person, but maybe not more than the average obsessive viewer. Actually, it might be exactly the average obsessive viewer here. In terms of first viewings, which is movies I watched for the first time, this year I saw 79 movies that I'd never seen before, which is 61% of my total viewings. Nice. Rewatches is obviously just what's left, which is 50 movies, and that's 39% of the total movies that I watched this year. In the theater, I saw 48 movies, which is up 3 over last year's 45 movies. I feel good about that. I still would rather have seen 52, but life is what it is. I watched movies that came out in 2025. That's 51 movies. I love watching movies the year that they come out. That's kind of my real focus here with Obsessive Viewer, is kind of making sure I stay up on what's fresh. So about 40% of the movies I watched were brand new in 2025. In terms of hours, again, a little down from the last 3 years, which is 228 hours of viewing time. So the stats come out to, so my average viewings per month is about 10.8 viewings per month, which I still think is pretty good to watch nearly a movie every 3 days or so. Is about average for me. And in fact, in the second half of 2025, kind of mentioned earlier, where my wife kind of goes to bed a little earlier, I'll watch about a third of a movie, and it takes me about 3 days to watch a movie. So that kind of tracks for me. Average viewings per week is 2.5, and that tracks for me. That sounds about right. Kind of a whole movie every 3 days, and then I almost always see a Shocktober movie on a Tuesday or a Thursday. My biggest week, and this is to absolutely nobody's surprise who knows me at all, it's my school's fall break in October. So October 13th through 19th, I watched 10 movies, Shocktober movies, all of them, and that's not a surprise at all. The busiest day of the week, this is kind of interesting, as always, is Thursday. But 2 years ago, I saw 50 movies on a Thursday. In 2024, I saw 46. And this year, I saw 31 movies on a Thursday. So it's dropping a little bit. And the reason for that is we have started going to a different movie theater more often because it's kind of becoming a hassle to drive out to the west side of Evansville. We're not as big of fans as our AMC in Evansville as we used to be. And our Showplace theaters on the east side where we live has $5 Tuesdays. And so we go to a matinee on Tuesday, and they also only show about 12 minutes of trailers as opposed to AMC's 25 minutes of trailers, which is just insane, and I can't stand that. So I think this time next year I'll be talking about Tuesdays as our busiest day of the week. My first movie of 2025 was Star Wars: The Force Awakens. My last movie was the SpongeBob movie, The Search for SquarePants. Saw that movie with my kids, and they gave it 5 stars. My most watched movies, I don't do a whole lot of rewatches throughout a year, but I did watch Companion, and I watched Superman twice. My top 3 genres are horror, thriller, and comedy. And then in terms of the highs and lows of the year, the movie that I watched with the highest average score was The Dark Knight Rises. Duh. Lowest average was Prom Queen. That movie was terrible. Most popular movie I watched this year was Sinners, which I'll be talking about later. The most obscure movie I watched was called The Terror of Hallows Eve, which I'm not really going to talk about, but it was actually pretty good. The newest movie I watched was Oh What Fun. The oldest movie I watched was Jaws. The longest movie was The Dark Knight Rises, and the shortest was about 62 minutes. It was a YouTube movie called Milk and Cereal.
Yes, I saw that you saw that, and I'm so glad, because I think I maybe told you or mentioned it to you in like 2024 or whenever it came out. I was very excited to see that you watched it.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. Okay, my most watched directors, I did watch the Nolan Batman trilogy, so he got 3, and then I did watch all 3 Austin Powers movies, so Jay Roach is 3. My most watched actor, Mark Hamill. I did a Star Wars rewatch this year, and then Jamie Lee Curtis, because I love all those Halloween movies. And then when you watch a lot of Star Wars movies, you also watch a lot of Warwick Davis movies, so he's in a lot of those, so... there we go. I believe are my stats.
Nice. That's awesome. Was this the year that were you introducing your kids to Star Wars, or was that?
That was
last
That was
year?
more 2024.
Okay.
We got around to The Force Awakens in January, and then I will kind of admit they lost interest a little bit, and I couldn't get them to watch Last Jedi.
That's a shame because that's the best one.
Listen,
I'm not saying that to troll. It's my favorite.
I've come around to that movie, but it is not the best one.
Yeah, I will say it's my favorite.
That's fair.
Of a franchise that I'm not too fond of.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, what are their Letterboxd usernames, Mike? Your sons.
They don't have them yet, but they have tags on my letterbox. So if they ever want to do it, I'll be able to kind of retroactively update those.
I love that. I love that. Yep. Yeah, Tiny. Your viewing stats for the year, and what is your daughter's Letterboxd username?
Oh man, I doubt she'll ever have one. She's probably too much like her mom.
Yeah.
But so I mean, prepare yourselves. This is pretty bad. This is even worse than last year, believe it or not. I was actually shocked at how bad it was. Please keep in mind that I said earlier, there's probably a good 20 or 30 movies where I watched a quarter of them or maybe a third of them, but not quite half, so I didn't feel comfortable logging them. My total viewings was 28.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We're cooking.
It's embarrassing.
We're cooking.
I feel like it cut out. Was that 128 or 228?
It was 128.
Oh man, I would love to have.
It was 28.
28. That is so bad. But of those 28, 24 of them were first viewings. So
nice.
Only 4 rewatches. I mean, that's like 86% of the movies I watched were new movies. So that's a positive, I guess. I was looking for new stuff, you know. So only 4 rewatches, 14%. I saw 4 movies in the theater, which is actually the same as last year. That's not great, but I haven't given up on the theater. I still love going to the theater. It's just so hard to get out there anymore. So I just haven't, you know, I kind of made peace with the fact that I don't know if I'll ever hit like double digits with movies in the theater again. I don't know, maybe when I retire or something, or when my kids get older.
Sorry to interrupt your stats time. And I think about that a lot, but you and I are just in the busiest time of our lives. Yeah. And there will be a time, I hope this doesn't hurt your feelings, where your kid doesn't want to hang out with you.
Yeah.
You know, by the time they can drive, it's over. Like, we'll have plenty of time to watch movies. And I think about that a lot with, like, I don't play video games like I used to, and I love video games. There will be time sooner than we want to admit. You know what I mean?
You're probably right. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that happening. So, yeah, when the kids get older, you know, hopefully these numbers will bump back up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then also movies that came out in 2025 was 10. So that was more than a third of the movies were from this year. That's a good number, I guess. The percentage is good. 55 hours of viewing. Average per month 2.2, average per week 0.5. Biggest week was week 1 of the year. First week of the year I watched 4 movies. Which is kind of common for me because I'm like, oh man, my stats were so bad last year. I need to like try to do better, and I'll do good for like January or a week or 2, and then it just falls off. Busiest day of the week was Saturday, which was pretty common. First movie was The Sixth, a documentary about January 6th. Last movie was Eddington, which I'll talk about later. Most watched movies, I did not rewatch anything. Every movie I watched was just the first time. So I have nothing for this category. Top 3 genres: thriller, action, sci-fi. Highest average score was One Battle After Another, 4.3. Lowest average was Captain America: Brave New World, which is a 2.4. I think I gave it 2. Terrible movie. Most popular film was The Substance, 3.7. Most obscure film was The Sixth. Newest movie was Wicked for Good, which we got to see in the theater. November. Yeah, in November. Oldest movie was White Christmas. Love that movie. Longest movie, one battle after another at 162 minutes, and the shortest was The Naked Gun at 85 minutes. My most viewed actors is Goofy.
Well, wait, hang on. First, White Christmas.
Yeah.
That would have been a rewatch, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you didn't have all first viewings. Is that what you said?
No, that's not what I said.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, were you talking about like didn't rewatch any 2025 movies?
I didn't have any movies I watched twice.
Oh,
Right.
gotcha.
Right,
Okay,
right,
I'm
right.
sorry. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
You're good. You're good. So let's see. Most viewed actors is Goofy because I basically have extras. Bronwyn James and James Dryden were my top two. They're basically extras in the Wicked movies, and they were both in something else too. I can't remember. So like, that is just. I was like, who the heck are these people? And then Brad Pitt was my number 3, thankfully. So because I watched, Paige wanted to watch the Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12 movies. We watched those. Yeah.
Nice.
Most viewed directors, Steven Soderbergh and John Chu, because I watched both Wicked movies this year. Which it was 2 Soderbergh movies and 2 John Chu movies. So that's again,
Zoom tight.
it's kind of sad. And I think that's it for my stats.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that that you were able to watch as much as you did, because I know you had a busy year and everything.
Yeah. Like I said, almost 3 months where I watched nothing. So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah,
But you lived.
I did.
That's
You
yeah.
did.
You watched the life of your movie.
Yeah.
Wait, the movie of your
the
life.
movie of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was live.
Yes. Yeah, I was gonna say, so we're releasing this episode to the public on the 15th. So this Thursday. The 16th, Tiny, is your 39th birthday.
Yeah.
39, yeah. So that's exciting. To commemorate it, I have the day off. It's to take a break. But I'm excited because I'm gonna either Thursday or Friday see 28 years later the Bone Temple. So I'll talk about that later. Yeah.
Nice.
But if you want to see it with me,
Okay.
we can orchestrate something. So yeah.
All right. We'll see. Maybe. I'm not sure. I think we're going out because of my birthday.
Oh yeah. I mean, like any time that weekend or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So my stats now, right?
Yeah.
Do it. Show
yeah.
us. Teach us.
I mean, honestly, these aren't too great or anything. Like they're modest numbers. My total viewings for 2025 were 236, which is a step down from 2024. I had 300. But it is a step up from 2023, which I had 184. So I'm pretty happy with that. 236 is a nice number. Of those 236, 170 were first viewings. That accounted for 72% of my total viewings for the year. That is slightly up from 2024, where I had 71.7% of my total as first viewings. So slight improvement of like 0.3% of first viewings. And then rewatches, I rewatched 66 movies for a total of 28% of my total viewings of the year. That is about the same as 2024. 28.3% was rewatches back in 2024. Which makes sense because the numbers. But theatrical viewings. I saw 66 movies in the theater.
Nice,
Which,
dude.
Jeez.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I was
Man, oh,
very,
man.
very proud of that. It's funny because like toward the end of the year, I just kind of, it's not that I didn't want to go to the theater. It's just like my time got to where, like, as I was in the midst of award season stuff and watching screeners and everything, and kind of just getting all of my ducks in a row for end of year stuff. And like the last movie I saw in the theater was Wicked for Good, which we saw. I think we saw that. Did we see that in November, like you said, Tiny?
Yeah, it was November.
Yeah, so I guess I didn't see a single movie in the theater in December. I'm discreetly looking now No, I didn't see. Wow, that is wild. Yeah, so the last movie I saw in the theater was on November 18th, which is wild. And I keep saying that like yesterday I was like, "Oh, I'm going to go and see a couple of movies in the theater," but I didn't. So so we'll see how this year works out. But 66 movies is nothing to sneeze at for theater viewings. I meant to put stats of the different theaters I went to, but I'll put that in the Patreon episode I'm going to record. But that is a slight dip from 2024, in which I watched 69 movies, nice, in the theater. So, I like that I've had 2 consecutive years where it's in the 60s, so that's nice. 2025 movies released in the year 2025 that I watched in 2025 was 105 movies. That accounts for 44.5% of my total viewings. So pretty proud of that. It's considerably less than I watched in 2024 in terms of year of release movies. In 2024, I watched 149. That was still 49% of my total viewing. So this year being 44.5% is still pretty close. So that's not bad. Total hours watched in 2025 was 425 hours, 425.2 hours. So
wow,
pretty cool. To further break down some theater stats really quick, 40 of those 66 movies in the theater were A-list screenings. So those were movies that I watched with AMC A-list. 9 were press screenings. 4 were Heartland Film Festival press pass screenings. And 6 of them were purchased tickets. So I saw a couple of movies in the State Museum IMAX, including The Brutalist on 70 millimeter. And also I saw Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning there. And then the rest were Can theater viewings for their Kurosawa run that they had. So very pleased with that. In terms of A-list, the total amount of money that I spent on A-list in 2025, since they hiked up the price in middle of the year, I ended up spending $359.40 on A-list. And I was able to see an estimated total of $633.20 worth of tickets. So that was with A-list. So I paid $359.40 for A-list, and I saw $633.20 worth of movies with that subscription.
One. Sorry to interrupt. I know this is
you're
your
good.
session. One
you're
quick thing
good.
about A-list.
Mm-hmm.
I canceled mine 2 weeks ago.
Oh, did you?
Mm.
Yeah.
I did.
So like that theater that you're going to, it's not. Is it an
No.
is an AMC?
Nope. We're going to Showplace on the east side
Oh,
now.
nice.
Yep.
Nice. Well, that's fair. Yeah, I still have A-list. It's great. It's absolutely great.
It is great, but I
for me.
wasn't using it 3 times a week. I was
Yes.
using it once a week, and the AMC experience is not great anymore.
That's fair. Yeah, that is totally fair. It's funny because now that we have an Alamo here in Indianapolis, I saw a movie there Friday with a bunch of guys, with a bunch of friends, for my friend Sam's birthday, and we saw Darkman, which I'll have an immediate reaction on Patreon. But like going there and seeing that movie there, I was like, man, this could be like, if it was a little bit closer to where I live, this could be like my home base theater. Like could be the place that I go, just because it's a great place to see a movie. But I live like a mile away from a decent AMC that is in a mall where there are some shootings occasionally and big fights and everything.
Ugh.
But yeah, not great.
Don't love
But
that.
no. But yeah. But I have some interesting theater experiences that I'll share later. But anyway, the total amount that I spent on movie tickets, so those six purchase tickets, was totally. I spent a total of $91.50 on that, which is up from 2024, where I had 3 movies that I bought tickets to, and that amount was $37.76. So yeah. Some quick streaming stats. I watched 52 movies on a streaming platform. The biggest streaming service that I had was a tie between HBO Max and Netflix. And then coming in third place was Hulu. And fourth place, I did my yearly subscription to Shudder for October, Shocktober, and I watched 7 movies on Shudder throughout October. So pretty happy with that. And then rounding that out, I watched 3 movies on Disney Plus, and then assortment of 1 streaming movie on a few different streaming services after that. So that's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with that. Letterboxd stats. These are the stats that we can find on our Letterboxd accounts. So the average viewings I had per month in 2025 was 19.7. That is down from 2024, where I had 25 per month. Average viewings per week were 4.5 movies per week. Again, that's down from 2024, where it was 5.7. My biggest week of the year was the second week, January 6th to the 12th. I watched 11 movies. And that is similar to 2024, where week 1 and week 49 were my top ones. I don't think I have ever or will ever breach like 13 or over 14 in a week, but we'll see. But this biggest week was 11 movies. Busiest day of the week was Saturday with 45 movies. That is similar to 2024, where I had Saturday as well. First movie was Metropolis, and the last movie was a rewatch of The Life of Chuck, which it's no surprise we will be talking about that later. My most watched movies, I only watched 4 movies twice in the year. So I watched The Life of Chuck twice, The Naked Gun, the new one, twice, Superman twice, and weirdly enough, Clown in a Cornfield twice.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, which is nothing unique or interesting, but
yeah. I liked it. I liked that movie.
Yeah, it was fine. Yeah.
It's a slasher.
I have an interesting anecdote about that later, but top 3 genres were thriller with 85, comedy with 75, and horror with 74. And my highs and lows for the year, weirdly enough, the highest average score was High and Low, the 1963 Kurosawa movie with 4.6. Lowest average score was the new Screen Life version of War of the Worlds with a 1.0 average.
Oof.
Absolutely horrendous movie. Like, just appallingly bad.
It's awesome
most
you
popular...
actually watched that.
Oh yeah, I reviewed it on the podcast. It has, like, I'm someone who has a history of being perturbed by product placement in movies. This has the, without question, most egregious, horrible, like, product placement that, like, it's an Amazon Prime movie, and Prime delivery factors into the plot in way too heavy of a way.
Oh my God. Ugh.
Wow.
To the point where I had to pause it because I was cackling at how ridiculous it was. It was amazing, honestly. So my most popular movie was Sinners with 4.1 rating. Most obscure movie was a documentary that I saw at Heartland Film Festival called Winter Fantasy, that I will give a shout out to that. It's a very good documentary from filmmaker Lauren Z. Ray. She did a documentary, I think at Indie Film Fest or maybe Heartland a few years ago that I really liked. That was about the small town that she grew up in Indiana. And Winter Fantasy is her... I don't know if she grew up there. Anyway, Winter Fantasy is her going back to her hometown, which is a different town. I can't remember, Martinsville maybe? But it's her going back and kind of reconnecting with her high school theater teachers and alumnus or alumni from that theater program that she went through at her high school. Very good documentary. If you can find it, if it gets a release at some point, I recommend it. It's very good. Newest movie of the year that I saw was Zootopia 2, which was released November 13th. And oldest movie was Nosferatu, which was released February 16th, 1922. The longest movie I watched was The Brutalist at 215 minutes. And the shortest movie at 62 minutes was The Timekeepers of Eternity, the very unique re-edit of somewhat animated paper mache re-edit of the Langoliers miniseries from Stephen King. Amazing. It's like one of my favorite Stephen King adaptations, essentially. Just really cool stuff. Most viewed actors were Morgan Freeman with 6 movies, Paul Rudd with 6 movies as well, Tony Revolori with 5, Jacob Batalon with 5, and Tony Todd with 5. So I rewatched some Marvel movies, in particular the Spider-Man Tom Holland trilogy, and I also watched all of the Final Destination movies as well. So that's where a lot of Morgan Freeman pops up because I watched some 90s thrillers, oddly enough. That was interesting. So most viewed directors. My most viewed one was Kira Kurosawa.
No way.
Really? Yeah. I watched 7 Kurosawa movies in 2025. Oddly enough, did not rewatch 7 Samurai. But yeah, I had a blast. I was on my friends Andy and Logan's podcast Odd Trilogies to talk about The Twilight of Kurosawa, where we watched and reviewed the last 3 films in Kurosawa's filmography. Those were all movies that I had never seen before, so that was really a treat to get to knock those off the list and chat with those guys about it. I highly recommend that episode and their whole podcast. They're great. Then the second most watched director was Scott Derrickson with 4, because I watched The Gorge and Black Phone 2 and not War of the Worlds, but The Day the Earth Stood Still remake and one other movie I can't remember. VHS, because he had a segment in VHS,
right. Yep.
One of those, 85, I think. And then rounding out with 3 movies each, I got Akiva Schaffer, Christopher Nolan, and John Watts. Of course, John Watts, because Spider-Man trilogy. Christopher Nolan, I rewatched the Dark Knight trilogy. And Akiva Schaffer, The Naked Gun, and I watched Popstar and something else I can't remember. Oh, Hot Rod, I think. And those are my stats for 2025. Pretty good
stats. Good stats.
Yeah. I'm pretty pleased with it. So we're going to wind down the stats portion of this with 3 memorable or special viewings or theater viewings and movies we missed. So Mike, do you want to get us kicked off with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I had some good memorable special theater viewings. The first one, chronologically speaking, was Dogman on January 30th, and it was so the boys, my sons 9 and 7, have been to a movie night before. But this was the first time they picked the movie. We were out and they read the Dogman books. They have collected them all. They love Dogman, which is like this kid's graphic novel comic thing about a dog who's a cop. And
nice.
They wanted to see it, and I was like, "Let's go on a movie night. Well, you guys picked the movie on a movie night. We'll see Dogman." And we did, and they loved it, and it was great. And just talking about it after was pretty special, pretty fun. And then on August 20th, I took them. This was more for me than for them, but the original 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie
nice.
Was in theaters, and it was fantastic. Oh my gosh, I loved it so much, and they liked it. They're excited because Secret of the Ooze is coming back into theaters this year for its anniversary, and so we'll watch that. But that was more for me. And then my third one on November 11th, which is 2 days before my birthday, Back to the Future was back in theaters, and I got to see that in theaters for the second time. And it's my favorite movie of all time, and I just loved it very, very much. So those are some the memorable special theater viewings. Do you want me to do movies we missed now?
Yeah, we can, and then
Okay.
we'll do that.
The big ones are probably F1, like I mentioned earlier. I wanted to see the Springsteen movie with Jeremy Allen White, my cousin. I didn't get a chance to see Begonia, which I was really high on all year. Excited to see that one, but I didn't get to see it. I did not see Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. I did not see The Plague, Matt, which you recommended. And then my buddy Jake said The Ballad of Wallace Island is his movie of the year, and I did not get to see that one. So those are some of the big ones.
Nice. Tiny, memorable viewings and movies you missed?
Yeah. So memorable viewings. I think two of them in the theater were that were memorable this year were The Life of Chuck and The Naked Gun. Both of those movies had what the theater experiences had that movie magic that we all love, but for two totally separate reasons. Life of Chuck. We reviewed that on the podcast, and
on Tower Junkies actually.
On Tower Junkies, right?
Yeah.
But I talked about it there. That movie has these amazing, and we'll talk about it more later. But these amazing dialogue scenes, and during some of those scenes, you could hear a pin drop in the theater. It was so quiet because everybody was so into it, and it was so intense and wonderful. And that's just special. Like it's funny. I enjoy falling out of the movie in those moments and acknowledging that moment, like, wow, look at everyone just locked onto the screen, and you could hear a pin drop in here. I kind of, it's actually fun to fall out of the movie and acknowledge and recognize that moment. I actually enjoy that. So that happened more than once at Life of Chuck. And then The Naked Gun was the exact opposite. It was so loud because people were laughing so hard. There were, I want to say like two people, excuse me, there were like two people that had like these really loud, kind of annoying laughs. But that was actually a good thing because like it was so loud, it was like giving permission to everyone else to laugh really hard at the really funny scenes, and like it actually enhanced the experience. And just movie, it's magical to have a great comedy where the audience is just laughing so hard they're actually drowning out the dialogue. Like that's so fun to me, and that happened at The Naked Gun when we went and saw that in the theater. That was super cool. And then I talked about it earlier when we watched Frozen, my daughter just coming running over to the screen when the music would start, and she starts dancing and getting really into the movie in those moments. That was pretty fun. So yeah, and that was from home. Nice. So yeah, those are my three memorable viewings and special theater viewings.
Awesome.
And then movies I missed. The first thing I put is too many to name, and then I named a bunch. Frankenstein was kind of the big one. I love Guillermo del Toro, and he just speaks to me. And I watched like a third of it, and I meant to finish it before this recording, and did not get to it. But I bet that would be a top 10 for me. Begonia, like Mike mentioned, really wanted to see that. The Long Walk, Stephen King movie I missed. Warfare looked really intriguing. F1, I'm a huge race fan. Even though I don't like F1, it would have been cool to see that. Together looked super good. I wanted to see that. And then I loved all of the crazy marketing, fun stuff for Marty Supreme. And it just looked like a fun movie. I missed that one. Were you guys kind of tuned into that? How Timothée Chalamet was really like promoting that movie?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was it was so dumb and like kind of obnoxious, but I was really into it for some reason.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I liked it. I liked that.
Nice.
And that movie's great too. So
okay, I can't wait to see it.
It at least helps. Yeah. Nice. So my memorable special theater viewings really. I've got 4 actually. So I want to start off by saying that The Tenderness Tour. It's a documentary that was at Heartland and has directed by Andy Redwine, and it features my friend and IFJ colleague Richard Probst, who does a fundraising campaign routinely called the Tenderness Tour to raise money for a variety of different causes, usually domestic issues and like child safety stuff. But he is in a wheelchair. He's a double amputee, and he basically wheels around Indiana, in like rain or shine, goes many miles around. And this documentary is documenting his latest one, or the one in 2024, where he was fundraising to erase medical debt in Indiana. He's a cancer survivor, and that kind of that really pointed out to him like how pervasive, or how horrifying it is to be in medical debt. So he partnered with a nonprofit called Undo Medical Debt, I believe. And basically for every like, I don't remember the exact amount, but like he was able to erase 16 million in medical debt in Indiana. And he's still going. Yeah. And I think that 16 million amount, I think that's what came out of screening the movie at Heartland. So yeah. So, I just like, it's an incredible documentary. Richard's an incredible guy. And I loved it. And if it gets distribution, I will make sure to make it known on the podcast and everything, because I highly recommend people watch it when they're able to. So that was, and I got to see it at Alamo Drafthouse with Richard there, and with a bunch of my friends from the IFJ as well. Just a really, really great time. And then I will also say The Brutalist in 70 millimeter at the State Museum was amazing. Just amazing, a very memorable experience. And then also on that same note, I'm adding one here because I just remembered Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning at the State Museum. The unique or interesting thing about that, what made it memorable was because me being me and running late the entire time. Like anytime I go anywhere, I'm habitually late. It's terrible. I'm sorry. But I went to the State Museum to see Mission Impossible with a bunch of friends, and I, in my head, I was living the life of Tom Cruise in those movies of oh my God, why can't I think of his name? Ethan Hunt. Because I got to my seat. I sat down in my seats right as the movie started. Like it was down to the wire. So like my ass was in the chair when the movie began. So very fun experience there. The other two more, and then we'll proceed. But Clown in a Cornfield, saw it in the theater. About 3/4 of the way through it, with about a half an hour left of the movie, someone came into the theater and yelled at all the audience saying, "Hey, we are shutting this down. There's a really bad storm outside, and we're asking everyone to get into like a sheltered position in the hallways until it passes." And and yeah, so like I was in a movie theater full of people just huddled around for about 20 minutes until like the threat of like tornadoes was like gone. And then they started the movie back and finished it. So that was cool.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I watched a screener of it a couple days later with a friend. That's why I watched it twice in the year. And finally, the big one. It's 4 movies really, but at the Can Theater, they did. They had Kurosawa movies. There was a traveling thing of Akira Kurosawa restorations. A lot of them for the first time in like 4K. And Can had several of them, so I got to see Ron. Which actually wasn't part of that. I think they had that separately, like earlier in the year. But I saw High and Low, Yojimbo, and Throne of Blood. Throne of Blood being one of my favorite movies of all time, and I got to check that off of the list of favorite movies of all time that I have not seen in the theater, so very pleased with that. I was in my seat for Rashomon, and unfortunately, it was the last showing of Rashomon that they had there, and unfortunately, something corrupted the subtitles, so there were no subtitles, so they couldn't show it. So unfortunately, I didn't get to see Rashomon, but I did get a free pass to see a movie at a later date. So, highly recommend the Can. Great theater, great atmosphere as well. Those are my memorable viewings and memorable theater experiences. Movies I missed, I only have 5 of varying degrees of me missing them, but I'm bummed that I didn't see Bring Her Back because I was such a big fan of Talk to Me. So I need to circle back and watch that because I'm curious. Didn't see Eddington. I've heard mixed things about it, but I wanted to see it just to be in the conversation. The movie Sorry Baby from Ava Victor. This was a movie that I started watching and then something came up and I couldn't finish it. But I'm bummed because it's getting a lot of positive reactions, and I wish I would have been able to see it. Sentimental Value is another one that I missed out on that I would like to see. And finally, this one I'm not too heartbroken over because I've heard some pretty bad things about it or negative things about it, but The Running Man. I'm hoping to rectify that very soon, but I'm bummed that I didn't get to see it. And I need to read the book. So yeah, those are my movies I missed in 2025. Any thoughts on all of that word salad I just served up to you guys?
I didn't love The Running Man.
That's what I've heard. I've heard it's pretty bad.
Man, it started out great and then it just didn't hold up.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah, I want to see it too.
Yeah. Well, I will see it and report back at some point, either on Patreon or on Tower Junkies, or in my car. I don't know. So yeah, now we have come to the time. We are almost to our top films of the year, but first, let's talk honorable mentions. Now, by the time people are listening to this, I will have my podcast and viewing stats for the year posted on Patreon in a special episode. In that episode, I am also going to run down my honorable mentions of the year. So what I'm going to do here is cede the floor to Tiny and Mike to hear what their honorable mentions are. So Mike, what are your honorable mentions for 2025?
For sure. And so I'll say this before I kind of get to my honorable mentions, but I had a little trouble kind of like organizing my top 5. As far as like great all-time movies, I think there were a lot of really great movies for the year, but none of them that were like I didn't have a year with a clear number 1, a clear number 2. So that said, I don't mean for that to sound negative, but that said, even my honorable mentions are very good. Like on average, it was a great year for movies. So I was really excited about my honorable mentions. So here we go. Nice. Honorable mentions include Together, which is the Alison Brie, Dave Franco movie. It was in my top 10 for a while, and just really cool body horror. You can definitely get a sense of that these two people are married. The chemistry is real and obvious, and it was interesting and exciting and turned a little sci-fi. I really liked that one quite a bit. The next one is Jay Kelly, which is the George Clooney, Adam Sandler, the kind of look back on George Clooney's character's life as a film star that I imagine has some maybe not real life moments, but definitely real life inspirations for George Clooney. And kind of what most people have said about the movie, I agree with. It's really great performances from both actors. Another honorable mention I have is Predator Badlands, which I just thought was so exciting. I really thought that making one of the Predators a sympathetic character and a protagonist would be unusual. But they pulled it off. And then at the end, at the risk of spoiling, I'll try not to. There's like a suit up moment where he kind of the main predator, and I know they have like a species name. I can't remember what it is. And all my life, you just call them predators, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the main predator kind of suits up using like found items as kind of like classic predator weaponry, and that was just so much fun. I also saw Bring Her Back this year, which is from the directors who did Talk to Me, and I thought it was almost as good as Talk to Me. Pretty scary, pretty tense, really good storytelling. And then these honorable mentions are kind of out of order, but one that I'll probably watch again soon was The Black Phone 2. And I liked The Black Phone as a good tone piece, but I think some of the performances were a little iffy, and it really just was not all that scary. Performances of the child actors. Ethan Hawke is always great. I will not say negative things about Ethan Hawke on this podcast. And so I was curious to see how they could make a sequel to a movie that really felt like it ended the storyline, and then to kind of really take inspiration from Nightmare on Elm Street, not only in storytelling but also some real like visual Nightmare on Elm Street cues. Was really, really cool. It was their take on like a dream demon situation. There's some hokey moments, I think, but overall the execution was so much fun, and you can't ask for a whole lot more than fun from a popular zeitgeisty horror movie. So Black Phone 2 rounding out my honorable mentions.
Nice. Yeah, Black Phone 2 is pretty solid, I think. I appreciate it for vastly expanding that universe in terms of just plot. Because, like, obviously the Black Phone, based on a short story by Joe Hill, like,
right.
That first movie is, like, that's the short story and then some. And for them to build upon it, I still think, and I said this before many times, the segment in VHS 85 that Scott Derrickson did, which is technically in that universe or part of the Black Phone universe, still think that deserved to be like its own feature. I thought it was great. But yeah, very cool.
Yeah,
very good.
Thank you.
Nice.
Tiny, any honorable mentions?
I do. I actually have one
Nice.
this year. I think in the past years maybe I haven't. My only honorable mention, I have one. It's Jay Kelly. It's a good movie. To kind of follow what Mike said, I don't know that I experienced any like all-timers, this year in 2025. Like there's nothing that I don't think I rated anything 5 stars.
Oh wow.
Which is crazy. But cuz there were a ton of great movies this year, like really good ones. But just nothing that I'm like, that's competing for the list. I'm going to talk about that, in years to come. I just don't know that anything jumped out that much, but tons of really good 4 and 4.5 star movies.
Nice.
Jay Kelly, the latest from Noah Baumbach. I love. I feel like movies that are about making movies can be super pretentious and kind of full of themselves, and I don't always love it, and it feels too inside baseball, and I feel like it's just Hollywood loving itself, and I feel like it doesn't work. But I think the perfect filmmaker to do that kind of story is Noah Baumbach, because he's so bananas and just he's such a unique, one of a kind filmmaker, and it totally worked through the lens of Noah Baumbach, I think. So good performances here, and just I really like the reflection of the Jay Kelly character, and kind of going through his life. I loved the actual camera work and filmmaking techniques of going into a scene of remembering his past physically. That was fun filmmaking and really explored a fun way to explore a character reliving their past. That was fantastic. And very, very heartfelt movie. And just the confluence of events was really fun. So Jay Kelly was good. Just I had 11 movies on my list and I had to bump one of them, and then this was the one that I actually bumped. So I'm just glad I actually had a movie to bump this year. So yeah, that's all I have for honorable mentions.
Nice. I will say Jay Kelly was great. It didn't make I don't think it made my honorable mentions or my top 10, but I will say, like, in terms of bookending scenes, I thought that was beautifully done in that movie. And also the opening scene takes place on a movie set on a sound stage with a bunch of stuff in the background and everything. Because of where I was at in terms of my media consumption at the time of watching Jay Kelly, I was like, oh, that's the Domino Sugars sign from the harbor in Baltimore, in the background.
Right.
So those are the honorable mentions. Of course, on Patreon, I'll have my Patreon special, 2025 podcast and writing stats and honorable mentions up on Patreon at some point soon. By the time the masses are listening to this, you guys will have access to that on Patreon. We're going to go into our top 10s. Do we need a break or anything, guys?
Yeah, I'd like a break if that's okay.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Looking at all my eyes can see, they tell me I view obsessively.